if they want the money. welcome back, guys. I didn't finish the game last time, so this is gonna be it, because I'm at the last level, and I want to get the good ending. But I didn't write the password down, but it's okay, I can retrieve it. Just bear with me. What the fuck? Wait, what happened? Oh. What is this? A bunch of incoming streams that already happened? Yeah. Okay. Get to here. Yeah, I was too tired to continue. Okay, I think right here. Yeah. What? Okay, hold on. Isn't this it? Sorry, guys. Oh, I get it now. I get it. Okay. That's fine. Just any password will do. Back. Because beating this game requires perfection for the good ending. All the way. Okay. Here we go. Alright. Oh, stop. Okay. Oh, it's not the same. Okay. Alright. Password time. 24 digits. I need to be sure this is correct. It's not a Q. Okay. O to a Z. Lowercase. I3, not 1. I3. D, lowercase. Foo. But hold on a minute. Is it O or 0? See, what would help? This is what I always do when I write stuff. O and 0 are identical, so to distinguish the difference, I do a cross on 0. That is typical. It has to be, because O alone on is part of the alphabet. But this looks so similar. So which one is it? I'm gonna go with the numbers. All right. N 2 M 01G uppercase K5. There's K9s. Wonder if there should be a K5. Or was there a K5? W E. There we go. Okay. Now that I've gotten where I am, now I can say hi to my chat. And then I can give my honest review of Kid Icarus once I beat the game. Alright, who do we have here? We have Nathan. What's up? How's it going? Thanks. Yeah, we'll be playing a new game as soon as I beat this, but I'm trying to get the best ending. So this is Kid Icarus, the first one. Now, make sure everything is at perfection. Full health, full currency, all the weapons and stuff. But controlling this is a bit of a bitch. Oh, fuck. Yeah. But, hey, I've been trying to memorize the patterns. So this happens first. Well, first the green blocks come down, but then these guys come out from the left, so I move to the right side. They come at me 3 times. Or that. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, it just... Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. It's NES. But now I have these. And now this is a bit hard to dodge. Like that. Now... It's faster to die, but I think I'd rather just start the fuck over, because fuck you. Okay, now, you know what? Now I gotta put the fucking password in again. Oh my fuck. I can't keep doing this. But... Oh no, I won't do this again. I'll just keep getting killed in the game. So you gotta be lucky, I guess. I3. D. Foo. Perhaps if I'm fast and memorizing this, I can do this faster than getting killed in the game to start over. K5. 0W. EE. So here I go again. And another promoter. Fuck you. See, what the fuck? Well. So I have the 3 sacred treasures. They're from the 3 dungeons. So, like... Yeah, the trajectory... I mean... Ugh! See, I didn't tell it to do that! It did it on its own! I hate that! Okay, I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna get up here. There you go. Oh my gosh, that was close, that was close. There we go. I think that's much better. Just get up. Just get up. Don't get it up, just get up. Oh no! Oh god! These winged things. Oh! And now I have to get up here. I think it's like a majority of the time, stay up there. See, I'd let go, and it's just doing that. I wanted to stop doing that. I'm trying to... Maybe it's just because it's a shield. It's heavy for him. I mean, he is a kid. But he's an angel. Sometimes he should have some inhumane strength. Again. They'll be coming from the left as soon as these pass. I can't help but think that they're gonna reach at the end of the screen. I just don't want to risk it. Stop! Stop going up! I'm not telling you to go up. Or so goo. Okay. Get up here. much better. Okay, now these angels are gonna... Whoa, no! Stop! That's... Oh, no, no! Oh my gosh! Oh, fuck you! What a dick that game is! Pit, stop! Alright. Ghosts. Yeah, up here again. It's safer to just stay up here. Well, I can appreciate the graphics. Greek mythology is pretty awesome. Okay, I think those green blocks come down again. Oh, not yet. Still got some ghosts. Okay, get to the right side. Here they come again. Ah! Fuck! Oh my fuck! Oh my fuck! Stay down. Oh no! If it bounces, then it'll go up. Ah! Okay. Now stay up here. Okay. Good. Yeah, I guess I've been doing this wrong. Ugh. All right. All right. All right. Here comes the. Okay. Alright, step here again. Those green plants come up from the bottom. So this is a good strategy to record, take notes, to get the good ending. Okay. Almost there. Lost ghosty. Here it is. Okay. I don't know how to not get it. First, avoid that dragon, but just keep shooting the fucking eye. No! I really got hit? Fuck. I guess do that then. Just keep doing that then. I thought you could... The shield... Yeah. As long as you're not firing, you should be fine. Yeah. Okay, got it. Got it, got it. It's not bad. I can do this. Just one at a time, no hurry, no hurry. Oh no! Fuck. I have to die. I have to die. But I got the strategy done. Let me get in front of the eye. Can I come in? Nope. 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 Ah! Fuck. All right then. Dude, it a goon. All right then. I don't know what to do with that. Maybe I'll ask Kick about that. What can they do or what can I do? There we go. No! Fuck! Oh, fuck you! Oh, look at pester me. They're clinging to my back like that. What, do they like me? Well, I'm a minor, so fuck off. Sorry, but not a single hit. See, I can take some hits, but if you see the life meter I have, there's like lines, like how much bars I have. Oh, I have the... So you cannot lose more than 1 bar of the life you have, or you're not gonna get the best ending. So I have to just not take any hits at all when I get to Medusa. At least I can shoot in reverse. No! Oh my god, that was close. That's annoying, but as long as there's a way around it. Oh no! I didn't tell you to do that. Fuck you. See what's annoying? Now this is gonna cost me time. Oh my gosh. Hurry up. There's another streamer that I am waiting on to they're gonna play Mortal Kombat, and I want to play with them just a few matches, and then I'll jump back to the games. Ugh. I don't know if you can time it. How long does it take to put the password versus dying? Just don't hit the floor. Because if you do, that happens. No. Oh my fuck. Oh my fuck. Oh my fuck. No! Oh, that was close. That was close. I couldn't get up in time because he shot his projectile. Don't hit the floor. Don't hit the floor. No, no, no! Oh my fuck. They were coming in so low. I was worried I would get hit. Oh fuck. Oh, okay. Whoa, what the? I shot. Did you see that? I shot both directions. How? How? You saw that. How did I do that? That would be very helpful. How did I do that? I did it again. Oh my fuck. Okay, they're gonna come from the left. How did I do that? Alright, don't figure it out. Just fuck. No! Fuck! Just try not to fucking get hit now. Fuck you. God fucking damn it. Ugh. Oh, reduce the time. Okay. You know what? Wasn't that 3 times? Whatever. Let's not get hit. I have a strategy now. Let's count how many hits it takes. That's 2. 3. What is that? 4. I didn't count. Okay, not that hard. Not that hard. The eye is the only weakness. Just let the dragon pass. How am I shooting it? I did it! Take that, bitch! Oh, I did it! I rescued her. Palutena is safe. Angel Land is safe. Thank you, Pit. Huh? Whoa! Whoa! Look at that! A Fabio! Oh, wow! Okay, that was worth it. Oh, Palutena's scoring for sure. Medusa was destroyed and the light of peace returned to Angel Land. But in order to maintain peace, Pit's struggle continues. Oh, I'm sure he's already past all that. He's definitely getting some. He deserves it. Okay. Okay. So Pit grew. He's like Hercules now. And he and Palutena. I'm just thinking, okay? But like, just like how Mario gets a kiss from Princess Toadstool. I don't know about Link and Zelda, but I heard that happened in the second game. And now Pit and Palutena. In that form. Oh, that is grade A ending right there. So, very good. Very, very good. I feel accomplished now. Finally. Finally. Alright. Okay. Now I can finally rate Kid Icarus, the hero. That's me, not Pit. Then I should get some. Fuck you, Pit. Alright, yes. Now you could still play if you want. But I'm done. I'm done with Kid Icarus. Okay. So, from what I've learned from listening to, the story, Medusa's the final boss, so she must have corrupted Angel Land. And, so, now Pit is to save Angel Land and stop corrupt Medusa and stop her and free Palutena and all the angels. So, Greek mythology is awesome. So, I'm giving it a... It just didn't get a good enough presentation to really make it that engaging. You need the manual, but that's all we had, so I'm not gonna fault them just because of that. So, I don't know. I'm still thinking, like, B+ for that. B+ for, the story and presentation. I like the intro of the screen scrolling up. Anyway, gameplay. This time it's a vertical scroller and some side scroller, but then vertical again, and then the shooter. And simple, it's a platforming shooting with power-ups. You go to the store, you get currency. That idea, you know, everybody loves the stores getting currency. But one hit and you're back at the beginning. That is the frustrating part about this game. So for that, I just kept getting frustrated and really was not enjoying some of those punishments. But back then, this is how it was. I don't know. I just think it could have been better. Maybe checkpoints. That would have been nice. So, gameplay is different, unique for that vertical scrolling instead of side scrolling. I'm also giving it a B for that. Now, the controls. Very responsive. Jump pretty high. Though careful with the momentum and the step forward when he lands. Don't want to fall. The platforming isn't too bad. There are 3 small ones you have to jump on and not fall. The feather can help you, but you just need a lot of hearts currency to get those things. So you have to grind a lot in the first 3 levels. That is my only complaint. It starts too hard, way too fast. I think it should have started as a side scroller first, then a vertical, then a side scrolling, then vertical again, and finally. But 3 sacred treasures. I think if it were up to me, the first 3 levels would be like side scroller, and then when you beat the first boss, then you learn Palutena's been captured. Then you can scroll up, get those 3 sacred treasures, and then yeah, I think that would have been better if it was, because then it wouldn't be so hard. Because this is already so hard when you're scrolling up. The pits are already your worst enemy. You want to fall, and I was pressing down to duck, but then I fell through because I was dropping down. That's not what I was trying to do, and that just fucked me over. Still, the controls are not bad. I'm still giving it a B for that. Maybe a B- for those things. Okay, soundtrack and music. I like it. It's not spectacular, but for like it's for what it is. Would I put it on my phone? Yeah, I would. It's Kid Icarus. Some games I wasn't crazy about. I'm giving it a B- for that as well. Now replayability. Well, here it is. You can play the game again with the power-ups that you have got throughout the game. So that's good. That's nice. But there are bad or mediocre into good endings. So I got the good ending. That's what I wanted. But you have to be at max all that and everything. But it's possible. So I guess because of that, I have to give it credit for that effort, so it gets another B for that. So overall, Kid Icarus, a standard B. Classic, but pretty hard. But after you get the power-ups, it becomes much bearable. More bearable. So yes, I recommend it. Kid Icarus has been in Smash Brothers now. Sakurai wanted retro game characters, so Pit was considered to be in the first Smash, but there was not enough room. But then, in Melee, he chose Ice Climbers. Imagine if Pit would be in Melee instead. Well, you got me there. But there you go, that's Kid Icarus. But see, since I beat the game, I can't just end the episode right now. I already thought and looked at what I have, so we're gonna play a new game today. So I gotta play the new intro. So let's go over to the Be Right Back screen, and then we'll get to it. So, BRB. Alright, so with Kid Icarus out of the way, now we move on to a console that I have never touched and never owned because I probably just never heard of it. Well, besides being born a little late. I was born in 87. The NES was made in 1985, but it had a competitor, of course. I'm not just talking about Sega, but its console. It's called the Sega Master System, and it was Sega's 8-bit console. So, yeah, I guess it just wasn't popular in the US as much as Nintendo, or it just wasn't at all. It didn't sell very well, it didn't have a lot of games there. It was popular in Japan, but it had different consoles, and it wasn't called the Master System. It was called like a Sega SG or something. The first was SG-1000, the second was SG-2, and then Sega Mark III. Before then it was becoming the Sega Master System in the US and in the UK and in, I think, Brazil as well. So, Brazil loves Sega. So, despite, you know, modern games evolving, Brazil kept a lot of its retro stuff with them because people still love to play them. And that's pretty awesome. But in the US, unfortunately, it didn't get far because I don't think it had anything to compete with Mario or Zelda. So this is what the console looks like. This is the Sega Master System. It was also called the Sega Base System. I have the box, and it's called that. I don't know. No, now there are no limits. Look, marketing matters. So, it's to get people hyped, but just did not do well. So, just check it out. It looks pretty cool. This is the base. These are not buttons. These are just for show. They don't do anything. These are the buttons. This is the power's right here. So the controller slots go here. You can even use the Genesis controllers if you want. And then you have, you know, the powers go here. Nice, you know? This is sturdy plastic casing. I like it, and I make sure that it's pristine, nice and glossy, and it's got dust. You know, it's been sitting in my closet and stuff. But now, I think another reason why it didn't appeal, well, the cartridges lack presentation. This is the cartridge for the Master System. And this is what we're going to play. It's Wonder Boy. This is a popular series. Wonder Boy generally is the character, but the series is called Monster World, or Monster Land, I don't know. The first game was ported on many different consoles, from what I've learned, including the Amsterdam and Amiga and Macintosh. I don't know, but it was also an arcade. It was first on the arcade. I think it was first on the arcade, and then it was ported to multiple consoles. But yeah, look at it. It's not like Atari. This is plain boring, just black and a red label. But you know, I don't know. I kind of like it. It's already it's already its identity of the Master System. The back is all this stuff here. Cartridges, well, like compared to the NES, look at it. Lack of a cover to give a good presentation, you know. So, you know, to be honest, the NES games did not need all this. The game fits all here. This is all the space you need. The rest here, just presentation. I mean, even the Genesis games here, look. Sega did not need so much space. It just had the whole game here. And then it can do everything. So, this is it. And, oh, there's something else. Wonder Boy also had another version, or, I don't know, the same port. The Master System has this. This is like where they had hue cards that go right here. I have only 2 or whatever, so these games are pretty expensive, more rare than some NES common games, and I guess this is more valuable than the NES. So this is how where'd I put it? Oh my god, I had it. Oh, camouflage me, will you? There you go. So, just down the slot it goes. Yeah, so this is a pretty nice looking console compared to the NES, the front loader here, see? Ah. Well, this is my custom made NES. It's all color like the Famicom color. Front loader, yeah. These were the competitors before the Genesis arrived. But it was a no contest. The NES won by a landslide. So this had no chance. But it doesn't mean it can't be enjoyed. So let's take a look at Wonder Boy and the Sega Master System for the very first time. Alright, I'm going to have to hook it up, so give me a moment. Now, it can work if you still prefer to just stick with the Genesis power supply. Ugh, it's hard to sneak it in there. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. Hang on a sec. Its controller is also a little different. See, here's the NES. And this is the Master System controller. Yeah, this is what it looks like. A little similar, don't you think? Ooh, this one has some scratch marks on the back. I could look for a new replacement. Or get this, smoothed out. I don't know. See all that? Can't see it. That's okay. But it's standard. But you know what's funny is instead of there's no start button on this. There isn't. Only more limited buttons. But here's the funny thing. You got the start and select here. But the buttons here on the NES is A and B. The Master System one. Oh, the start button is this first button right here. But the buttons are only like 1 and 2. Give a little number 1 and a little number 2. Number 2. See, that's what's funny about it. Control pad. I think that's a nice presentation. It's like 4 directions, but another 4 diagonally. I guess it does technically have more buttons. Look at it. It's not a plus. It's all square. So I guess the Sega Master System beats the NES for more controls. I don't know. I don't know if that counts because it's not the button that you would do stuff. Just move around. Whatever. Let's get to it. There's something else. I had someone modify my console because the Master System in the US has a different sound chip, but the Sega Mark III in Japan had like a extra sound, enhanced sound. So I had my console modified so that if I want to toggle the audio, just flick the switch. I'm gonna test that out. So I don't know if I'm gonna stream the entire day for this to try and get far in the game, but just want to like to test it out. That ain't. So I'll play a bit of this with the standard sound, and then I have to turn the system off to toggle it, the switch to get the other sound to see how it sounds. You know. Okay then. I'm gonna keep an eye on the time because Sorana is streaming right now some fighting games. She's gonna play Street Fighter, then Killer Instinct, and Mortal Kombat, and I want to play a few matches with her. So I don't know if you want to wait for me to play a few and then get back to the game, or I'll just end the stream and then just come back another time. So we'll see. Right now, let's check out the Master System and play Wonder Boy. And I love how sharp and crisp the graphics are. Welcome to the Sega Master System. To play, just follow these instructions. Turn off power on power base. Insert cart or cartridge into the system. Then turn power back on and enjoy. Right. For young kids to give this a try, yeah. Okay. So, what do you think? Yeah. Oh, that's right. I gotta change the game logo. Thank you. I forgot to do that. I don't know if you can see the full letters of Wonder Boy. Here, I'll enlarge it just a little bit. Okay, that's good. That's good. If I were to pick a different one, let's see. How does this look? No, it's too small. Also. Yeah. No, it's fine. That looks good. Okay. Thanks. Now, yeah. Now it's too large. Like it's too long. I can't fit both the NES and SMS next to each other, so I just have to get them out of the way. Okay, let's try this out. Huh? Oh, do I have to? It's not in all the way? No? I did test it, but I didn't know this would happen. To have it go all the way to the game. I don't know. Maybe the button's not responding. Let me try the Genesis controller. Control 1. No. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, let me do what I always do. Clean the game out. I'll be right back. The game's not that dirty. So I hate to see if the system is the one that's not accepting it. This is the first time I touched the console. I'm blowing it just to get it to dry up. Alright then. I hope it's not the system itself. So I don't know if I have to change controllers or in different slots. Let's see. There it is again. Turn off power, insert card into system, turn power back on. I did that. Come on, start. I just started the stream. Don't do this to me. Fuck. Do I have to look on the internet? What do I do with this? Oh, I guess I have no choice. Won't load games. Yes, here. Now, let's see what the most chill thing on... Yeah, yeah. It won't start. So maybe the buttons aren't working? So how do I get past this screen? Sega Master System, how to get past the... Play, follow instructions screen. Yeah, here we go. But it doesn't seem to read a cartridge. It boots normally, but then asks for games. I've tried different games, and the old and tried method of blowing didn't help. Also, I know there's supposed to be a snail maze game, blah, blah. So, try launching snail just to troubleshoot that end. What is that? As long as snail launches, you can probably narrow it to hard. Hold up, hold down up, 1 and 2 as you start the game, the system. Okay? Hold down, and then these two. What? What is this? I'm playing a maze game? What is this? I'm playing a different game now? Where's Wonder Boy? What? What is this? Time's up. This is not what I want. Okay, it has a built-in game in this system. Maze? That you're a snail? Hold down up. Oh. Oh no. No, that can't be. My guess is on dirty or corroded cartridge slot. I had to replace a slot recently that was free. Clean the slot with a business card. Or fold it in half carefully. How do I do all that? Use the Q-tip with alcohol to clean the pins of the game card. I already did that. The Master System slot is too thin, so I use some cotton swab or toothpick. Oh no. Okay, so holding up and then pressing the two buttons opens a maze game. Turning MS on, pressing it after turning it on. Try holding it with the other up, meaning down, using the joystick. My gut seems to be reversed in comparison to standard arcade. If the problem was that pushing down on the cartridge hard, the console didn't like that. Apparently, the background says splash screen turns blue instead. Not my first cartridge. I have others that are still alive, and well, after all these years, I'm gentle with them. As for the maze game, tried everything. What the fuck? Something with the contacts that require more than just cleaning with alcohol, but I couldn't start the maze game because the joystick wasn't working. It can't. Is it the console then? So this works, but my gosh. Okay, it's the same maze. This is. I'm playing a fucking maze game instead of Wonder Boy. Oh my fuck. Oh, that's not... No! Oh! Okay, with all seriousness, I don't know. If I can't get this to play, then am I fucked for this stream? Press it down hard. Fuck. I have never seen a console do this before. You gotta be shitting me. Should I put in a different game then? So, it's the game? It's the game. I guess I'm going to have to open this up then. Did they give me a defective game? Game looks fine. I don't understand. So that other one was Shinobi. That's for another time. That started up. Why not this one? The game itself. I had to get another one. Oh no! This already ruined my stream because this thing didn't want to start. Is Wonder Boy the only one that does this? Well, fuck. Am I plugging the cartridge while the console is on? No. What's all this on? Well, let's go to this website then. Alright then, looks like you're gonna have to join me as I scour the internet. Oh, whoops. Alright then, so SMS power. So here's Reddit. System doesn't read games. Oh, no, not here. Oh, fuck. Alright then. smspower.org. Let's see what this one says. No, it's not a software error issue. So it could be the cartridge, but I tested Shinobi and it powers up. The I/O chip. No.
To work on that gas plasma display laptop, I've decided to go, well, a different tactic this week, and we're going to work on some game consoles. Now, I grew up as an NES kid. This was my first game console, not this exact one, but the very first game console I ever had was a Nintendo Entertainment System. So I really have no experience with the console we're going to be working on today, and it's this. This was sent in by viewer Mike a while back, and it's a Sega Master System Power Base. Yeah, interesting name there. This thing, when I did my testing before, is totally dead. So we're going to figure out what's wrong with this, and hopefully I can get it working. And Mike had included one game here, which is stuck in the console. There we go. It is Great Baseball. It's not bad baseball. It's great baseball. So let's get this console over onto the bench and see if I can get it working. Here to the Anderson 100. And he's at... Now, I'm really not exaggerating when I say that I don't know anything about this system. Growing up, my friends and I, we had NES consoles, and that was it. I think the previous diagnosis of this console, as I said in the intro, this came from viewer Mike, totally dead, and I wrote bad voltage regulator. As far as I'm aware, in the US, nothing was ever released that used this. And it looks like, sounds like we have something. I actually took this apart in the past, and then I left the screws inside in a little bag, because I would have for sure misplaced those connectors. There are two on the... Okay, so taking a look at this motherboard, we have this large shield here, which is going to be for a voltage regulator. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing takes... Well, it's going to work with this little hidden game. See what happens. Aha! Freaking works! All right, well, this controller is absolute junk, but we have a little maze game built in. This controller sucks so badly. When you push like left or right, it's so easy to push up and down at the same time. We're trying either. Look, there's the intro screen. How nice is that? So, oh, you can start it without even, when the game is just sitting there at the console. Yeah, so 1 and 2 was buttons B and C on the Genesis controller here, and then up. All right, let's turn the volume down on this speaker here. So this button right here is supposed to be the reset button. Oh, it does work. Okay, cool. It was just funny because when I pushed that, when it was at this menu here, it doesn't really do anything. But if we push the combo on the remote, or controller that is, to get to the game, let's see if that actually does work. Okay, yeah, the reset button does actually work. I was just wondering if I have to sand these contacts. I think I'm going to do that anyways, and I'm going to use a little emery board here. And the way these work is there's just those little contacts in between these two copper things here. So we just put this in there and do that. Okay, so the console obviously is working. The snail game is working, controller input's working, the reset button's working, we have working sound, working video, but this baseball game is not working. So let's open this thing up and take a look and see what's going on inside. So without doing any reading on how this Master System works versus the NES, I have a feeling that this works in a much more conventional way, like an 8-bit computer. That this is just simply a ROM that loads program code, and the graphics are just assets in the ROM that then get loaded into the video RAM, which is over here, for display on whichever chip here is the video chip. Probably this larger one here. This is very different than the way the Nintendo works, because the Nintendo has 2 ROMs minimum inside every cartridge. One is to hold the program code, that's just like this one, but the other one is to hold all the graphics assets. And essentially the video chip on the Nintendo actually accesses all of the graphical assets for sprites or background stuff right out of the other ROM chip. That design was actually rather brilliant. They probably did that originally just to save costs and not have to have any kind of ROMs inside of the machine itself and any kind of graphical RAM as well. But what's really cool is that with later cartridges, with those more complex mappers on the NES, the mapper chip on the cartridge is actually able to swap out the ROMs, or like bank the ROM that goes to the graphics chip in real time, which allows animating sprites and things that you wouldn't normally be able to do, because the graphics chip on the Nintendo is redrawing the screen every 60th of a second or 16 milliseconds. And if you swap the graphical assets in between those screen refreshes, then you can create animations without actually needing the CPU to do anything. It's all handled inside the cartridge. And you can even swap graphical assets halfway through the screen that could allow you to do tricks like split screen animation or split screen graphics all in the cartridge itself. I think that the Master System was a little bit more limited in future expandability because you could obviously do some kind of banking inside the cartridge to allow for larger games. But when it comes to the graphics on the Master System, you're always limited to the graphical RAM that's on the motherboard, which looks like, I think, 16K. So the CPU is going to have to do the heavy lifting of loading new graphical assets into the SRAM for the graphics chip to then display every 1/60th of a second. Probably when these two systems came out, this system was probably a little bit more capable than the very earliest original NES games that weren't using any kind of mappers. But then as soon as those more complex mappers came out on the NES, that allowed it to pull ahead in the capability standpoint because that mapper chip was allowed to do all this kind of swapping, especially with the graphical system. That's pretty cool. All right, so here's the baseball game on this cartridge, and clearly we're just looking at a very standard mask ROM, and I don't see any problems on here that would cause this to not be working, other than the fact that maybe this mask ROM from 1987, 37th week, is actually dead. Now, one thing that is interesting is there's no kind of security system or anything on here, so my assumption is we could actually put a socket on here and put an EEPROM on here to load up different games. So that's something to consider. In addition, maybe the cartridge slot has some kind of an issue. So I'm going to grab some deoxit here first. And we're just going to put that on the cartridge here, which will have the effect when I slide it into the slot of getting deoxit inside the slot here. So we'll just plug this in and out a few times. I mean, it all looks to be in pretty good shape. Now, what I didn't look at is how was that PCB mounted inside here? My assumption is the ROM faces forward, but I'm not 100% sure. So to double check, what we're going to do is check for continuity between the negative side of this capacitor and the ground plane on the board here. So we'll just pop that in there. So we'll hold one probe on the ground plane, and yes, indeed. So that would be negative, and I think if we go right here on the positive lead of the SRAM chip here, and yes, we have continuity through to 5 volts on the positive lead. Now, if I were to plug this in the other way, it does physically go into the board. I don't think that would be the case anymore. And yeah, neither of these pins on the capacitor have ground on them. So this is clearly plugged in the wrong way. So that's one way to verify if you have it incorrectly. All right, let's turn this on again. And right there, we got the same screen about the fact that it wasn't happening. I didn't hear it. That's right, the sound is turned down. That's why we didn't hear any sound. So yeah, okay, so it's definitely not seeing this ROM. And is it able to go into the game? Yes, it is. So if we try to think about what's going wrong here, I think there really are only a few possibilities. The Z80 processor clearly is running code. The ROM, the RAM, the graphics chip, that stuff is all working. So we have good operation of all the data lines. The address lines are probably all perfectly good as well. But when thinking about the way this cartridge probably works, there's probably a pin that gets grounded when you put the cartridge in. And if we pop this out and we look at this, oh yeah, look right here. So see those two pins are bridged together? That means that when you plug this cartridge into the motherboard, it's able to sense that this cartridge is in place. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of these chips, like maybe this smaller one here, is like a PLA, so to speak. You could think of it as like a gate array or a ULA or a PLA on the 64. It's probably sensing that the cartridge is installed, and there's probably a chip select line that selects the ROM on the cartridge, and it will probably deselect the BIOS ROM or something along those lines. But the fact is, when we turn this back on again, we're not actually getting anything out of here. Now, this also could be that it's trying to select this ROM and the ROM chip is just dead. And when maybe the ROM chip's not responding or doing anything, then potentially just falls back to the original BIOS. Something along those lines. Having not looked up the system, I'm just guessing here entirely at what's going on. Well, I did a quick Google search for schematics of the Sega Master System, and I found that there's a schematic here for the PAL version. It should be close enough, which is this right here. And if we zoom out, we can kind of see that we have the Z80 processor, we have ROM, we have RAM, we also have the SRAM here, and it's connected to the VDP, or the video display processor. So it's exactly like I thought. It's the display RAM for the graphics system. And then we have IC4, also known as the gate array. So that's exactly what I was saying. This is like the PLA on the 64, and this is going to be generating their chip enable lines. These probably go like 0 through 4 to the various chips on the board. Yep, this one right here, this selects the RAM, for instance, ROM, stuff like that. So let's figure out which of these is going to the cartridge slot. I wish this was a little easier to read. Kill GA. Where does that go? Is that probably going up to the cartridge slot, which I was thinking? So here's cartridge slots up here. Well, that's chip enable 3. And up here, chip enable 4. That's probably like the expansion header on the back or the underside of the machine. And then this is that card slot on the front, which is chip enable, can't quite read it, if that's a 2 maybe. Either way, let's look at that chip enable 3 line, which goes down here and is pin number 4 on the gate array. So starting on pin 1 on the gate array, which is chip enable 0, which goes to RAM or ROM on the motherboard. We turn this on, yeah, see lots of activity as we would expect. Pin 2, which is chip enable 1. We saw a little bit of activity. Okay, there's some more activity. And now we're on pin 3, chip enable 2. It goes high. And remember, this has a line over it, which means it's active low. So that's not doing anything. And then pin 4, which is the one that goes to the ROM cartridge slot, it's not doing anything. So there's no way that this cartridge is going to work without, oh, well, what's happening there? It is absolutely selecting that cartridge right now. Okay, let's switch back to the video input. Oh, what? It's freaking working all of a sudden. Well, that's strange. Let's hit the reset button down here. Well, I don't know. I wonder if we have a bad connection on the board. I'll just power cycle it. I mean, it definitely wasn't working before. I did not touch anything here. Master system. It boots up now. Well, I don't know what's going on exactly. I'm going to put the cartridge back in. The only thing I'm thinking is that I have the board propped up on some scissors here because the power button drags on the desk otherwise. And I'm wondering if when it's sitting on the ground, it was like bending the board and that was keeping that particular line from selecting the ROM. Let's try again here. No, it just works. Okay, push 1 or 2 player.
Oh no, come on.
Okay, so this controller obviously works.
The console is now trolling me.
Do I know how to play baseball games like this anymore? No. Okay, strike. Hey, look at that. And there's a question. Wasn't it working? And why does it work now? That's the question. Let's try this one more time here. Okay, I think it's not working right now. Maybe. No, I don't know. No, what's happening? This sucks. I'm going to tweak the board here. Because if there's a bad connection, then while the code is running, it should crash. And it's not crashing. Okay, well, all I can think here is the deoxit worked. I mean, I'm moving this around and it's fine. Pushing on stuff is fine. All right, let's test to see if this pause button works. It did pause the game there. So let's try. Yep, you can pause it. Kind of cool. It's actually like a hardware pause. It doesn't make a beep or anything. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't understand why this was definitely broken and now it is fixed. So I think the next thing I want to do is I'm going to desolder this ROM chip from here. This baseball game is something I will never ever play. And I might as well install a socket in here and see if we can use a regular EEPROM. And then maybe I can load like a diagnostic ROM onto this so we can put this thing through more of its paces. I'm super positive that all of this stuff is really well documented, like what kind of ROM chip this is, but it's kind of fun to figure it out on your own without reading any information on the internet entirely. And yeah, by the way, for my Hacko 301, I use this little hand drill bit, which I got from them, which cleans out the tip, because sometimes the tip gets kind of clogged up, and whoops, unfortunately the drill bit just got left behind inside, so I need to try to get that out. But this hand drill bit, I highly recommend if you have one of these things for getting the tip clean. Oh, that was pretty easy. Chip just came out. I didn't have to use hot air or anything. Just make sure I keep track of which way it was. The notch is over here on the left side. All right, socket is installed. Let's just test with the original baseball ROM back in the board. See if we have a working system. Sega, okay. Yes, we do. Sweet. I'm curious if we pop out this original ROM and we install the cartridge with no ROM installed, is the system just going to sit there at the BIOS screen like it was doing before? My assumption is yes. Yeah, okay. A quick Google led me to this homebrew ROM here, Zexal, which looks like it tests all sorts of stuff here. Z80 instruction exerciser and does a bunch of stuff. Now what I don't totally know is if I can simply just take an SMS file here and stick that on an EEPROM and put it in this cartridge and have it work. It's 64K, so as long as all of the 16 address lines are routed to the cartridge slot, then that should work. And let's take a look at the schematics really quick to see the difference between these cartridge slots. So this is that little card edge connector here. We got address line 7, there's 12, 13, 14. Yeah, okay, address line 15 is missing, so 32K seems to be the max there. There's address line 15 on the larger slot, and it misses that small card. So I think that means that a 64K EEPROM is possible to be used, which is a 27C512 EEPROM, and I happen to have some of those spares. Yeah, of course, that all implies that this mask ROM here that I took out of the board has a standard pinout, which it may not actually have. Well, one way to figure that out is let's just put this in the Mini Pro, try to read it. So with the Mini Pro software, we're just going to use the old 27C512. We're going to turn off the check ID. Just put that there so you can see it. And let's try reading, see what happens. Well, it read okay. It just says V1 at the top there. And let's see if it looks like it's repeating. I don't know how big this particular ROM actually is. At the end of the ROM, it says TMR Sega. Is there a search function in this thing? I actually don't know. Ah, yes, there is a search function. What we're going to look for is this might be repeating. If this is only a 32K ROM, then there's one address line that's not used, so we should see this twice. Oh yeah, okay, we do. So right here, yep, okay. Well, this is telling us that this is a 32K ROM, so this V1 repeats over again, and it should be in here twice. So yeah, it's at the bottom, and it's right in the middle. Well, hopefully this cartridge actually supports that address line 15. I guess let's just give it a try. So I'm going to load this Zex ROM in here. Let's just scroll up to the top here. So it's got that same V1 thing there, which is good. And at the bottom here, oh, okay, well, there's actually nothing. So this might actually be a 32K ROM. I wonder if that Sega thing is needed there. There it is. Yes, okay, this is a 32K ROM, even though the file size itself was 65K. Okay, that means I can use either a 27512 here, or I can use a 27C256. All right, so I have a National Semiconductor 27C256Q. So we'll load this in, and we'll reload the ROM. It always erases what it had. I'll pop the ROM in there, and we'll program this chip. There we go, that programmed correctly. Now, sometimes with these older chips, it's probably a good idea to just program it multiple times. This is not the best programmer in the world when it comes to EEPROMs. I've found that occasionally programming it 5 or 6 times makes them work a little bit more reliably in certain systems. Something to do with the threshold voltages of the way the chip is when it's programmed with this. Your mileage may vary on that, but if you have a chip that you program it and you put it in the motherboard, it doesn't seem to be working, or the system, try programming it like multiple times consecutively, and then it might work for you. I've definitely had that make a difference. With the ROM installed in the socket, see if this works. I can almost hear people screaming right now who know this system or are like, no, that doesn't work, that's not gonna work, you know, that kind of thing. Let's see what happens. It works. That freaking worked. What is this doing? It's like testing everything, I guess. It's like doing calculations and things. All right. Well, this just appears to be looping, and looking at the original page I downloaded this from, this seems to be a test to check the emulation for the master system if you're running a third-party emulator, to make sure it's emulating the CPU like accurately or whatnot. Well, this is real hardware, so we know it's not emulation, and it does appear to be passing every single thing. The only thing that seems to have an error there, at the top it says CRC, blah, 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 expected something else. I don't know what that means, but this is a real system, so I don't know. Now, a quick Google search revealed that there's another VDP test as well, which is this. So I've gone ahead and downloaded that, and I loaded it into the programmer. I've installed another EEPROM in here, a blank one. Let's just quickly blank check this. It's a different chip, Fujitsu. and it looks good. So we'll hit program. Oh yeah, and incidentally, the ROM on this VDP check right here is 32K. It's not even 64K like the other one was.
This fucking
And it
sucks.
programmed successfully, so we'll just run this a few times. Now while this programs, looking at this doesn't really seem to give us any kind of graphical tests. I was hoping for something that will like display some sprites and stuff like that. I'm gonna look for the SMS 240p test suite. Oh, it exists. Is this it right here? Oh yeah, okay, cool. This is the one we should be programming. Let's just download this from releases here. There it is, 32K as well. Well, since I just programmed this VDP test onto here, why don't we give it a try? All right, all right. So this works, and then there's Mega Drive tests, and I think that's because, isn't the Mega Drive actually compatible with stuff from the Sega Master System with some kind of an adapter? So I don't think these Mega Drive VDP and palette tests are gonna work. But let's just give this a try here. SMS data test, everything is okay. Push any button to continue. There's a little bit of interference there, and I wonder if that's the power supply. Well, I'm using my bench power supply. We're still pulling, by the way, 360 milliamps. So, yeah, sprite tests, okay. Testing X scroll column should be straight. Bunch of values, and there we go. So that works. So this thing seems to be functional. Cool. We'll have another blank EEPROM here, so let's just flash that final test suite onto here and see how that works. All right, all right. Move this up and down, I guess. Yes, very cool. And then we have standard MOS here. Yes. And then instantly you have a copied game. Now I have a feeling that I probably can't close this lid with the socket in there. Yeah, that does not fit. So I think I can try to Dremel away the front of this case here so it gives me access to the EEPROM so I can swap it. But the other thing I'm just realizing is that there's a thickness issue here because the opening where the cartridge goes into the computer, I can't remember how deep it goes. It might only go to right there. You can see that little bit of a witness mark there. Hopefully that's the case, but if it goes all the way up to here, then we're kind of in trouble because I have a feeling the ROM chip is gonna stick out right there. But let's give it a try. Got nothing to lose, right? All right, a little crude dremeling later, and I think it's gonna work. I accidentally kind of shaved away part of the case there with the Dremel. But yeah, there we go. And I think I could get that chip in and out of here as well. It's very close to like a little bit of a ridge that's right here on the cartridge. But I think we're all good and this thing should work. Let's put this in the system. There we go. It's freaking working. Sweet. Well, I think the Master System is ready to be reassembled. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a clean on the inside and reassemble this thing. All right, there we have it. The system is all back together, and I've gone ahead and I put a label here, 5-volt center positive, and I also stuck it on the bottom here. That way, of this regulator, and then use your soldering iron to pull them out one by one.
Fuck, that's not fair. It trolled him, it wouldn't work, and now it's working. And now I can't figure it out on my end.
Controller input's working, the reset button's working, we have working sound, working video, but this system or anything on here, so my assumption is we could actually put a socket on here and put an EEPROM on here. Has some kind of an issue, so I'm gonna grab some deoxit here first, and we're just gonna put that.
Deoxit. What does it look like? It is alcohol. Deoxalt? Deoxide has some contact enhancer, different amounts depending on which deoxit. Old analog oscilloscopes. Alcohol won't remove oxidation without some elbow grease. Silver oxide is conductive and rarely presents a problem on switch contacts. I use alcohol or other solvents for general cleaning on switches, and I use deoxit sparingly. So, get deoxit. The one-step spray for clean, dirty, noisy, controlled pots and switches and guitars and amps. It's a spray? Oh my gosh. Versus this thing?
That on the cartridge here, which will have the effect when I slide it into the slot of getting deoxit inside the slot here. So we'll just plug this in and out a few times. I mean, it all looks to be in pretty good shape. Now, what I didn't look at is how was that PCB mounted inside here? My assumption is the ROM faces forward, but I'm not 100% sure. So to double...
Oh my gosh. This sucks. I really don't know what's wrong. It's just a matter of cleaning it, but I don't have deoxit. It's just alcohol. But even that does not do enough to fix it. No. I don't have anything right now. Fuck. Well, I have to open this console then and see what the... Alright guys, I'm very, very sorry. I'm gonna have to just end the stream like this without anything right now. I'm sorry. I have to if this is gonna give me problems with other games, then I have to figure it out. So I'm gonna have to end the stream. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you on another episode. So I'll see you guys next time. I'm sorry. Shit.